Hey folks, it's early afternoon, it's like 2:10. Gotta make up the dawn prayer, and I did all of my five prayers yesterday, but one thing I did yesterday was I actually finally went fencing, and it was pretty fun. I got out of the house, I think I switched the camera, but yeah. So I got out of the house, I had to take an Uber to get there and the Uber to get back. Got all my stuff packed up, had the money for, paying for that. I also paid for rent when I got back. Um, So I went there. I guess Monday and Wednesdays are typically more like foil night, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are more epee. So I might go back again on Thursday for epee. I might go tomorrow again for Wednesday, and then just do foil and get in whatever epee I can get in. But it was after this issue. As I try to look at the camera, I guess the camera's down here, so I should be looking down there. But um, anywho, so I fenced a little epee, starting off. I got, changing my outfit, and I got a break in my shoes. They kind of give me a bit of like the blisters or so, or calluses, whatever you want to call them, on my feet. But breaking those in, and did some epee, then did a bunch of foil. And I'm definitely out of practice. I need to get, I need to get back into that. But hey, you know what? I went there. It's the first time in a long time, and I plan on starting to go consistently and just, practicing as much as I can, and maybe taking some classes, maybe just getting back into it for the heck of it, and eventually doing some competitions. It's the eventual goal. But what I want to talk about in relation to, I guess, it doesn't have to be Nofap related, but it kind of falls out in insofar you're talking about, like, figuring out how to deal with life. Um, One thing that I noticed, like, it's sort of a philosophical thing, I guess, in some sense, or psychological, but when I be on the little piece, or the metal strip where we're fencing, the little area, the fencing area, in the middle of the bout, it's like all the concerns and issues in my life, I had to gonna put them on the side burner. I had to put them, a million miles away, because it's like, if you're, looking at this not just as, okay, I'm fencing, I'm trying to win this bout, but if you're looking at it in the sense of like it being a real sword fight, this is life and death. If you're fighting it with an actual sword, and even if you have armor on, it's life and death. And you really can't get caught up in all the other things that are going on in your life at that moment. It's whether it's do or die. If you don't focus on what you're facing right now and put those concerns to the side, you're not going to be making the moves you need to make in order to parry that attack, or riposte, get that lunge in on your enemy to, or your opponent, to get the damage done you need to get done, or get the point you need to get to win the bout, or whatever the case may be. And it reminded me of a scene. I'm sure any of you folks who've watched Game of Thrones. I've been a big fan for at least several years, since 2000, I think 2012 or 2013. Yeah, it's gonna be over in a bit, and they're gonna do some spin-off series. But in season one, Syrio Forel, he's teaching Arya Stark how to, the basics of the Bravosi water dance, and, giving her first lessons in sword fighting that she incorporates into her own personal style. But there's a scene in there, I think it was after Micah, who was the stable boy, after he'd been killed, and, there are issues with, like, her father being accused of treason and being thrown in jail and all that kind of stuff, or being arrested. And I think it was actually just right before Syrio, basically disappeared off the screen, facing his Sir Meritrand. But he noticed that she was sad. She was distracted, and he basically says something along the lines of, and I can probably link the scene in the description, but um, it's like, okay, actually now is a good time for you to train, because you have your problems, distracting you, and you have to learn how to deal with that kind of stuff in life, because if you're going to be trying to sword fight, trying to defend yourself, trying to survive some sort of, attack, um, there's going to be multiple things going on, basically. It's kind of his point. Was there's going to be problems in your life. There's going to be things that will distract you. Your emotions are not always going to be clean and clear. It's not going to be some sort of, oh, it's a practice session. It's going to be like real life. Maybe me throwing, my take, and maybe like, you're living in Westeros and your best friend just got killed or injured or so, and you're concerned about, him, or you're sad about him or her, and at the same time, somebody else, that person who just, killed them or injured them, is coming at you with a sword or an axe or something like that, or a dagger. And you can't be thinking about, oh, how sad you are that they just died or they got injured or so. You got to be worried about the person who's coming at you with that weapon. And I see it as this sort of like metaphor for life in many ways, especially the way I've been facing things right now. It's kind of like I've got my issues with the one-eyed girl. I got my issues with the girlfriend. I got issues with other folks, or aspects of life, my physique or my applications for internships or whatever the case may be. And those have been distractions for me, especially the one-eyed girl. But it's like the bout that I'm in, the fight that I'm in, is with my grades, with how I do on exams and whatnot, how my grades are going to turn out at the end after the 2 midterms, and things of that nature, stuff that's coming up, and this whole deal where like I have to treat it like it's a sword fight, and I'm facing off against my opponent, and I can't afford to get caught up in all the other things that are making me feel bad, that are distracting me. Because if I do that, then I won't have my guard up. I won't be focused on parrying or repelling the attack of my opponent. And hey, that guy doesn't have my concerns. Perhaps maybe he has other concerns. Maybe he doesn't have any concerns, or significant ones, at that point. But it doesn't matter, because he'll take advantage of my distraction, or she'll take advantage of my distraction, and land a blow, in on me. And in the fight of life, I mean, that can be it, one blow and you're gone. So, and they'll walk away from the bout having won. Maybe it wasn't something major to them, but it was to you. But you know what? You apparently didn't care. You apparently didn't care enough to focus and to, put things in perspective and keep your priorities straight. So, that's what I have to tell myself and looking at it like that. And, I really, obviously I enjoy getting out, de-stressing, and socializing with some folks, completely unrelated to my academic social circle. But beyond that, I kind of gained a little bit of perspective on things, and it's like I wish I hadn't made all these excuses before to not go, But I finally did go, and that definitely helped. So what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna go get some food, and I'm gonna read a bit. And maybe I'll actually read a little bit before I go out, and then I'll get the food and come back and finish up. Switching over from thermo to unit ops, and then getting some thermo done later. So, anywho, folks, just a little insight I had, and I need to take a shower. I'm still covered in the sweat from last night. It was pretty fun. I got my butt handed to me, but you know what? I've been out of practice for so long, and it was just great to get out there and actually go fencing for the first time in a long time. So, see you folks around. Bye.